Another rough loss for the New York Mets on Sunday. Feels like we're doing this every Sunday. This Sunday, they fell to the Phillies 7-6 in Philadelphia as the bullpen had a meltdown in the 8th inning. Let's talk about the Metropolitans with the host of the Subway to Shea podcast. That would be Anthony Rivera. And Anthony, like I said, it feels like every Sunday. I'm not sure I've talked to you after a Mets win. I do not think that's happened. But how are you doing, Anthony?
Yeah, I don't think that has happened either. I know we talked about it off air, but I feel like is it me? Am I causing all this? But obviously it's the players and the team, the front office. It's all them combined to make this. I feel like it's turned into a circus almost now.
Well, it was a circus-like atmosphere, and what happened in the 8th inning for the Mets down in Philadelphia on Sunday. Reliever Josh Walker and Jeff Brigham, they could not get the job done in the 8th as the Mets blew a 6-3 lead. Now, look, the Mets bullpen has not been great this season, but I got to ask this. Does manager Buck Showalter take any blame for this loss by staying away from his best relievers in the 8th inning of a game where the Mets desperately needed to get a series win?
I think he has to. He has to take blame for the management of this bullpen. And, I wrote down the stats today. Brooks Raley only threw 11 pitches. Yesterday, Adam Ottavino threw only 26 pitches. David Robertson only threw 13 pitches yesterday, and they've only played twice in the past couple of in this last week. And it's just frustrating to see that in a big spot, in a big moment, you have this $364 million payroll, and you're getting Dominic Leone in a big spot. You're getting Jeff Brigham in a big spot. You're getting Josh Walker, who's pitched well, but we're talking about a huge spot here against a division rival. And yes, it's a game that they definitely needed because they're so far behind and they're not getting these games. And you have to go to Raley, you have to go to Ottavino, and you have to go to David Robertson. This is what you pay these guys for. So these guys have to come in these big crucial moments, and we're not seeing them, and it's cost the Mets. I know that Buck likes to think further on down the line how this to play out the rest of the week, and it just hasn't been working. Win the game at hand, worry about tomorrow when tomorrow comes.
And they did not win the game at hand on Sunday. And with that, the Mets are now back to a season worst 7 games under 500. Now, look, Anthony, I know you were tuned into every Mets game. Is Sunday's loss the worst loss of the season?
It's up there. It's up there with one of the worst losses. I don't know if it's the worst loss. I think that Braves loss where Justin Verlander could not keep the lead, where the bullpen kept blowing it and the Mets scored, 10 runs? I think that was probably the worst loss. The Yankee game, the first Subway Series game where Scherzer blew a five-run lead, that's also up there for me. But this one is a tough one. And I'm telling you right now, if this team continues to play like this and continues to struggle defensively, pitching, somewhat offensively, I guarantee you this is probably not the last loss that's going to be like this. The bottom doesn't drop with this team.
Yeah, I don't know where the bottom is. I don't know if this is rock bottom. I have no idea. And you're right, we don't know. Might not be the last loss that we see like this. And Mets fans definitely do not want to hear that. Okay, Anthony, I feel like we've been saying this every week, the Sundays that we talk. It's another big week for the Metropolitans, who return home for 4 games with the Brewers starting on Monday night, followed by 3 games with the Giants. Now, if you believe the Amazons can turn things around, how important is this 7-game homestand for the Mets, and what do they need to accomplish here in this homestand?
Whether you believe the team can turn things around, or if you don't believe that they can turn things around, the team definitely has to at least split with the Brewers and try to take 2 out of 3 from the San Francisco Giants. If they don't do that, I mean, what's the point even? I mean, it's getting to a point where it's hard to believe in this team, and I've kind of been myself trying to shoulder the fan base and trying to keep the hope alive. But, when you're losing to the St. Louis Cardinals, and that series kind of took me a little bit out of this season, when you lose to the last place team the way that they did, and, you follow it up with frustrating losses in Houston and now in Philly, it's hard to be 100% all in that this team can turn it around. They haven't shown us anything. And if they don't show us anything, how can we believe?
Yeah, well, they say you got to believe, but I understand why you might not believe there. I totally understand it. Mets, as I said, a season worst, again, 7 games under 500. Very disappointing loss on Sunday to the Philadelphia Phillies. That is Anthony Rivera, host of the Subway to Shea podcast. Go check him out there. Anthony, we are still hoping that you and I can talk after a Mets win. We need that to happen. We need it to happen.
Most definitely. Yeah, most definitely. Thank you so much, Dexter. Appreciate you.
Anytime, man. Thank you.